All right, Barbecue Sultan here with the minute to win it tip of the day. And what I have for you is a corned beef. Actually, it's going to be a multi-part video. So today I'm going to show you how to make a pickling spice for your corned beef. Then putting it in, letting it rest for several days. We're going to come back, do another video talking about the process because I'm going to convert that corned beef into a delicious smoked pastrami, or show you what you could do if you just wanted to keep it as a corned beef, and then take it a step further and teach you some of the tips I do with the sandwiches to make them just juicy and delectable. So let's get started with making that pickling spice. All right, I want to go over some of the spices here. This could look like a lot of random stuff, but it all has a purpose. So back here I got about 5 bay leaves for you. We're gonna break them down even smaller once we put it into the batch. I got a tablespoon of ginger powder, a couple sticks of cinnamon. I got a tablespoon of mustard seed, another tablespoon of some thyme, like some thyme leaves, 2 tablespoons of peppercorn. Up front here we got a teaspoon of cloves, whole cloves, a tablespoon of celery salt, another tablespoon of red pepper flake, and right here this is 2 teaspoons of Prague powder number 1. Prague powder number 1 is stuff that you can pick up online or some of your local beef shops. This is actually what you need for curing. Essentially, it's a curing salt. It's going to allow it to really saturate into the meat and also make sure that you don't get any nasty chemicals or bacteria growing on it. Last but not least is about 3/4 cup of actual salt, just sea salt that we'll need later to put into the bag. Right, so what I got for you now, what we're going to use for the corned beef, then we're going to turn into the pastrami, is this beautiful Jacks Creek Wagyu brisket out of Australia. If you go look at one of my prior videos, I've got a video on how to properly trim a Wagyu brisket. We want to do the same exact process here because I'm going to turn this into pastrami. If you were going to keep this as a corned beef, you'd want basically no fat on it left. You can take the marbling on the inside, it's fine, but you don't want any of the fat on the cap left on it for corned beef, because then once you cook it slow, it's just going to turn into some nasty gooey oil, and it's not good for corned beef. But since this is a pastrami, I do want to leave about 1/8 to 1/4 inch of fat all the way on it, and I'm going to use the flat end of the brisket, not the point. You can use the point if you want a fattier, even more marbled pastrami, but for me, I like it a little leaner for pastrami. It gets a good smoke flavor in, easier to slice. After you're done trimming the brisket and cutting it down, you want to get ready to make your curing bath. So what we're going to need here is about 3 liters of water or so. Really depends on the size of your brisket, the size of the pot that you're using and for your bath here. With that, we're going to take the 2 teaspoons of that Prague powder that I mentioned earlier on in the video. Put that in. Take your 3/4 cup of salt. Put that in your bath. And then start stirring that up a little bit here just to kind of allow it to blend. You want it to dissolve as much as possible. And then after we get it a quick little stir in there, we're going to add 5 tablespoons of that beautiful mix that we made. The rest of this can just go into a mason jar so you can use this pickling spice later for a future recipe that you want to make. If you want to turn it into pickles, make some pickles yourself. You want to pickle another corned beef or make a pastrami next time, or whatever you want to do if you want to turn it into something different. Stay tuned until next time. We're going to take that beautiful corned beef, turn it into a pastrami, and I'm going to walk you through the rest of those steps in our next video. But this will get you started so that way you can follow along with me and maybe make this recipe and allow it to cook with me at the same time.